Hello everybody, I'm here and I'm back today. It's a Saturday, which means it's How Dare You weekend. A weekend when I'm dare to play any game that I freaking desire. Which is normally what usually happens on the stream, but weekends are basically games that I can beat in like a span of 2 days or something like that. Or the games that I never played before. And I judge them to be relatively short. So today we're gonna play Legacy of Kain Defiance. I have not played this game in a lot of time. I mean, I know the story Legacy of Kain, but I have no idea about its gameplay anymore. I have no idea about its attacks. I don't know even if my controller is gonna work with that game. It's pretty much get into the game and try to figure it out. So, I hope that Legacy Defiance is also gonna work because when I bought this game and I launched it, right, and installed it, I saw that this game is running perfectly, right? Then a couple updates later, the game have stopped running altogether, so I had to install the DXVK for it to actually start, like, figure out the stuff, basically for this thing to actually start working properly. But yeah, let's hope that today it's gonna work. I'm keeping the preview active for now. I'm gonna deactivate probably when I'm gonna reach the main menu. So let's go with it. It captures. Everything works. And I can only hope that this is gonna stay. I'm just disabling the preview. Alright, we're gonna start a new game because I made a continue game just to see if the game is gonna capture. Let's start a new game. This is the version 1.1 of the game. I also hope that the intro to the game and the music that's being used in this game, it's not gonna get immediately like copyrighted or anything like that, because the intro has an actual music like that. It's like, I'm not afraid of getting copyright claimed by YouTube, but getting copyright claimed on Twitch, that's not gonna be good. Anyway, let's start a new game. This game doesn't have any levels of difficulty, so it's just a one straight difficulty from beginning till the end. Previous progress may be lost. Yes, I know that. I realize that. I don't care.
Given the choice, whether to rule a corrupt and failing empire, or to challenge the fates for another throw, a better throw against one's destiny, what was a king to do? Does one ever truly have a choice? One can only match, move by move, the machinations of fate, and thus defy the tyrannous stars. So I returned to the sanctuary of my enemy, the fortress of the Sarafan Brotherhood, deemed impossible for any man to penetrate. impossible for any man. Deep within these walls, my prey awaited. Mobius, the time streamer, deceiver and eternal gamester, using living beings as his pawns.
In the end, we'd rooted out an entire nest of the fiends.
But we had swept that area already.
Not well enough, but no matter. We purged every last one of that brood with fire, and their souls now rest.
Lord Mobius will be pleased.
It was time for Mobius to answer a few questions. I hoped for his sake to find him in a forthcoming mood.
Alright. Oh, so I can sneak to characters if I just slightly press the controller forward or something like that. Okay, at least we know that we can sneak in this game. Okay, so movement is the left analog stick. It seems like Kain also has teleportation, which is unusual because, you know, basically in normally in Legacy of Kain game series, you either play as just Raziel or just Kain, which Kain had Blood Omen most of the time for those games. In the Defiance, you play between two characters, and first you play as Kain, then as Raziel. It just jumps from character to character. Okay, so this is the teleportation. It seems. Oh. Hey, that's nice. Okay, I get it. Okay, so triangle is attacks. Square is flying. X is the stronger attack. Okay, so where's the blood sucking? Because start is a first person view, which is not bad. Okay, so still okay, so the select is the blood sucking, and the right analog stick is the menu. Okay, fair enough. I guess let's move on. It's gonna give me a little bit of use to get to the graphics, but it's fine. Action to attack. Okay. Blood hunger causes health gauge to drain slowly over time. Good. Okay, is the X the one to feed the river? Because you can actually feed the river in this game to make it more powerful, and this time the river is not served as a parasite. I still need to figure out how to do that. Maybe it's the left analog stick, the R3. Oh, that door is locked. And this time it feels like camera is actually not, we are not able to control the camera, so we're kind of on the mercy, because the R1 and L1 is just, sorry, not R1, L1, R2, L2 is not really movable. Okay, we can go through the walls like this, nice.
Help me! Help me! Oh, please, no.
From time to time, it is necessary to feed. And the unusual event of a feast prepared by the Sarafan must be savored.
Yep, you guessed it. Well, Kain is a vampire after all, so he is feeding on the humans. And I don't really have to like feed on every single one of them. As a matter of fact, I don't really want to. I need to figure out how to... Hold up. Let me check in options in the control. Configure gamepad. Secondary stick disabled. Oh, I can actually enable it. Okay. RX. I don't know what the RX is. Digital analog. Analog. Yeah. What about the mapping? Okay. Button 2. Right left telekinesis. Action out of face. Soul sucker around. TK aim. Sneak and pause. Next reaver. Previous reaver. Okay, spectral shift. Okay, never mind then. I thought there's like a different attack in this game. I guess I was wrong. Alright, we can continue on. I just need to get used to that square serves as a jump. And not the X, because X is a stronger attack, pretty much. And there goes the health talisman. Yeah, I can feed on that, but I don't need to do that.
What was that?
Yeet! Well, I guess he got the point.
The touch of water is like acid to a vampire. I had to find another way to pass.
Yes, and as a Kain, you cannot swim. If you touch the water, you are pretty much freaking done. You gotta basically restart from the latest checkpoint. Which, if I remember correctly, this game set up the checkpoints automatically. But I could be wrong about it too. Okay, that's another. I think that's another health talisman. Or it's a mana talisman. Yeah, that's a mana talisman. TK room, telekinesis. I'm just gonna call it health and mana. Just makes me feel better.
This passage undoubtedly led to the time streamer. My prey was nearly in my grasp. But the door had been sealed by a blessed barrier. As I approached, the Reaver resonated in response. Perhaps its dark sorcery could dispel these holy barriers. The Reaver was not yet powerful enough to shatter these barriers, but there was something to this.
Yeah, an upgrade to a Reaver, it seems. Yeah, it's gonna take some, it's gonna take me some getting used to working with the camera angles like that. Telekinesis to leave the enemy. Yeah. You gotta love those tutorials. You know, use telekinesis. See ya. See ya. Yeah, my telekinesis bar is not really recovering very fast. Ooh. Dark arcane tones. Oh yeah, that's pretty much, I think it's unlocking cutscenes and whatnot, and also additional lore. Well, I cannot unlock that yet, probably it requires some kind of a key. Soul Suck to replenish the health. Is there, like, any kind of, like, chalice around? I'm pretty sure I can go through here. Hey, Void. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Glad to see you. Yeah, it's gonna require a long jump, I think. In matter of fact, I know I will be unable to jump it because... I think the thing in front of me, that's a bridge. So maybe I shouldn't try just yet. Okay, so this is some kind of monument, some kind of a sculpture of one of the Seraphim Knights. Must be important. But he requires 2 items to be opened. And I'm not gonna get used to those controls. I might actually change the key bindings. Let me take a look around this area. Because there's another door over there. I think I can open it. Can I? No? Okay. So we get a double door over here. I am not gonna get used to those controls. You know what, guys? Let me change the controls. Options, control, configure the gamepad, configure the mapping. Yeah, the LESD, that's good. Lift attack. I actually want this to be this, the button 3. Telekinesis. I'm already good with L1, I guess. Jump. I want this to be button 0. I'm gonna think about telekinesis later because I think I'm gonna do the soul suck under the circle. Action. I also want this to be okay. Autoface. Now this is gonna change. Button 5. Soul suck. That's gonna be button 1. Look around. Hey Van. Look around. I think I'm gonna use the... Oh, the triggers don't work. Damn. Okay, press escape to cancel. We're gonna cancel that then. TK aim. Button 4. Sneak. That's already button 8. And the pause. I'm actually gonna do the pause on R7. Sneak maybe on delete. Look around on button 6, because why not? Action is J. But I'm gonna put on the number 0. Status menu, switch next reverse. That's actually okay. I'm okay with switch reverse. Probably it's gonna be one of the analog sticks. Probably. Telekinesis. Jump right forward. That's action. Action is probably also the other thing. Okay, let's go back. Go back and go back. Let's see how it's gonna work. Okay, so that's the auto face. Soul sucking. Select is look. Pause is this. Aiming. Okay, yeah, I can go with that. That's actually a kind of a classic way of the controls. Oh wait. Jump. I didn't set up the jump. Hold up. Control. Configure gamepad. Actually, I think jumping was X. So the action button is gonna be the square button. Okay, that should be good enough. I hope. In worst or best case scenario, we're gonna switch the regular controls from analog to digital. Okay, that's attack, soul sucking, auto facing, controllable telekinesis, which is a massive upgrade in this game because you just press one button and then you use just your analog stick to aim, then you just release the L1 and the telekinesis just goes. Much better than in Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 2. Much better. And I think that says a lot. Okay, is that this door? Yeah, it's this door. Hope you're doing well, Van. Glad to see you here. Oh, hold up. Oh, you can actually attack while you're in mid-air? Okay, that's something new. Gonna have to remember that. Checkpoint activated. Poggers. Okay, so checkpoints are those red markers on the floor. Okay. We'll have to remember that.
Locked. What a love of doors these pathetic humans have.
Also, tell me, guys, if the game is too loud, please tell me. I will adjust the volume, even though it truly feels like this game was made specifically for consoles, because the only setting that you can adjust when it comes to the audio is just volume. You can disable the music, you can disable the reverb, but you can only adjust the volume of the general. You cannot go anything else than that. It really feels like your typical console thingy, not gonna lie. Vampire! Telekinesis to hold an enemy? Oh shit. I think I forgot to... Yeah, I forgot to... because this game has two types of telekinesis. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Configure the gamepad. And I need the regular telekinesis to be configured. So I guess because I'm technically running out of buttons, so I'm gonna put the telekinesis under... I don't think I actually can. No, wait, I should be able to put telekinesis onto the L1. Yeah, the button 4. No, because that's TK aim. Oh shit. Unless I'm gonna put telekinesis because it's an automatic telekinesis. How about I'm gonna put it on the button 8. And I don't see anything else using... I mean sneaking, sure, but I can turn sneaking under the right analog stick, I guess, on the button 9. Okay, let's see how that's gonna work. Yeah, sorry about that. that's gonna work. Okay, so the enemy's down like this, I can charge the rear with the triangle. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
This emblem was unmistakably of vampire origin and designed to enhance the Reaver's power. But this coincidence seemed too convenient. Mobius clearly meant for me to find it.
And naturally, the first thing that I love about this game, voice acting, Simon Telperman.
Surround him!
My favorite voice actor of all time. Period.
Surrender, fiend, and we will promise you an easy death.
I could promise you the same, but it would be a lie.
Yeah, the camera angles are a little bit wonky. Not gonna lie, the camera angles are a little bit wonky. But yeah, now the Reaver has a power attack that doesn't drain your blood points, unlike in Soul Reaver 2.
This barrier had a curious resonating effect on the Reaver.
Effect so curious in resonating. Oh yeah, I forgot that this game also has dodging. And dodging is with jumping. As we can see, the movement is definitely way improved. And this game took developers 2 years to release after the Soul Reaver 2, and I think they made such a good job right now. So far, I think they made an absolutely brilliant job with the movement of the character. Like the way you can dodge and attack, you can approach the enemy. Yeah, I like that. I really like that. Probably the further I'm gonna step into the game, the more difficult it's gonna become. I can only hope it's not gonna be unreasonably difficult. The controls are definitely an improvement. A positive
door
one.
had been equipped with a singular lock, requiring an unusual key. Somehow, I would find it.
It's definitely, when it comes to graphical, like the way the game looks for 2003, it's definitely a little bit better. Definitely the lighting plays a huge role, at least so far. But yeah, I also believe that the movement of the character, the way the character moves, is much more smoother, it's much more intuitive, and I really like it. Okay, so I don't remember from where I arrived. I think I need to go through that smaller door. Hello. Housekeeping. Or not, no, because there will be those turrets inside of that door. I wouldn't mind if Kain would open my door like this. Like, he just doesn't give a fuck. He's just going for it. yeah, the R3. Bye. Bye. Yeah, come to me. Are you ever bleeding out? Have you considered giving up on life? Thank you. Can I only get through here? Yeah, it seems like it. I actually wonder about something. Is there a way to get to these archers? Like, by myself? Can I actually jump over there? No, not really. The game doesn't allow that. That's fine. Oh yeah, the game wants to teach you some combat stuff. That's why they put those little dummies over there. Like the auto-facing, you know, just performing the attacks, basic stuff. The game really wants you to teach you some things. Also, it seems like me just pressing auto-face once enters the combat. Yeah, this is a combat tutorial, you know, something that we already had. And also combos. You're gonna unlock several combos in this game. Lift attack. You know, the type of instructions that this game gives you, actually, it's actually hilarious. Because I'm joking about this all the time, but this is possibly the worst way to explain somebody controls. Use lift attack to lift attack. Use jump to jump. Press forward to move forward. Hold lift attack so I can jump with him. Okay. Yeah, you can actually make enemies to go up. Then press telekinesis for mid-air TK. At least I don't have to hold the analog stick to perform that attack. Oh, I'm actually going to agree. It's much more smoother, but it really feels like Devil May Cry. I actually want to jest a little bit over here, but I think that, like the Eidos was like, hey, you see that successful Capcom game called Devil May Cry? Yeah, let's use those controls. Let's use that. Okay, I don't know how that worked, but fine. Yeah, that's how they teach you. Oh, I need to hold the button. Okay. Oh, wait. There we go. and then unlocks additional treasure for you. Not really a puzzle, but it is what it is. I think they even freaking... Oh my god, I don't want to use stall, but I genuinely believe that they took the idea of the camera angles from Devil May Cry 2. This is basically Legacy of Kain if Devil May Cry was a Legacy of Kain game, at least so far. It really feels like that. Maybe I shouldn't make that comparison, but it really gives that vibe. Which is, you know, not bad. If you see something that is that works for somebody else, and you can, well, steal it, borrow it, then go ahead and do it, you know. If it improves the quality of your final product, hell yeah. I mean, I'm gonna put it like this. As long as it doesn't kill the entire vibe of the Legacy of Kain game, I'm up for anything. Yeah, the combat is much better. I mean, the combat was alright already. The problem with Legacy of Kain Survivor 2 was the difficulty adjustment, the AI of the game. For the first 50% of the game, when it comes to Survivor 2, the AI NPCs are good. They are fine. They are absolutely fine. And there we go, Carnivorous Laceration. View status screen for details. Laceration screen. Well, I don't know what is the status screen. Hold up, let me check on something. Is there like status on the control options? I know I'm messing with that a lot, but I did not expect it to be, you know, for that to be necessary. Status menu, button 10. I don't even know what button 10 is. I guess I could use basically the keyboard for that. F. Oh yeah, I can use F for that. It even gives you a status screen. Wow, nice. Artifacts, Reaver, Telekinesis, Arcane Tomes. Yeah, there it is.
Cadaverous Laceration.
Okay, I didn't expect that. Move plus action. Executing a flurry of sweeping strikes and easily able to overwhelm multiple lesser opponents and their blood sprays across the air. Okay. So it's gonna be something like... Maybe I just need to aim for it with a single enemy or something. Okay, so this door is still locked and I cannot unlock it. I doubt that I can do anything over here with this guy. At least... At least for now. I think I need to head all the way back, or at least try. Because there was this other door with the Reaver on it. That required me to have an upgraded Reaver at least. So maybe that's the thing. But I think now the controls that I have configured them properly, it's all gonna work better. It's not gonna be that big of a mess. Yeah, so you obviously you cannot open that door. But I'm looking for a different door. And I think it was this one. No, because that is a bridge. Unless I'm missing something. Okay, let's not drop into the water. No, I'm not missing anything. I need to go through here. I'm missing another door in the plaza. Only I'm a little bit of a dummy and I'm missing it. Because you cannot jump up. You cannot get up there. Yeah, there it is. I think it's that one. Yeah, the game is still a little bit janky, in a way that it still allows like characters to go through the walls. But I don't think it's something that is like absolutely game breaking. I need to learn how to perform the combos because that laceration thingy, yeah, that's something that needs to happen. Yeah, I'm gonna ignore that. I think I remember this though. Oh my god. I do recall some things from my earlier playthroughs, which were like several years ago. Is that jumping sections? They are not good. At least the one I'm gonna encounter right now. It's not really the best. Oh yeah, that's a checkpoint. And it's a good thing because now we have this. Use jump to tense a long jump. That's an attack, Kain. And I can leap. Okay, so those little red markers are basically markers for me to take a longer jumps. Fair enough. But if I'm gonna use this one over here, it's gonna guide me somewhere else, so maybe let's not do that. Okay, so far not bad. Oh, there's a health item over there. Health talisman, and now my health is increased. It's a good thing that this game actually allows you to like look easier like this. Oh yeah, that's something. That's a wee bit little detail over there. But yeah, I'm actually happy that this game just allows you to look around with the button. And it's not some kind of like stupid process. TK aim. Hold up. Yep, there it is. TK fire.
Yes, I understand. It will be done. The stage is set. You needn't linger in the shadows, Kain. It has been a long time, hasn't it?
No banter, Mobius. You know why I'm here.
Yes, Raziel. You sought to introduce your own pawn into this game, and now he's been swept from the board.
By your hand, I suspect. Where is he?
Perhaps you should ask, when? How humiliating it must be for you to come begging at my doorstep for answers.
Enough wordplay.
Don't threaten me. You see, I have the upper hand. How remarkable that the great Kain should succumb to the scepter's power like any common vampire. Still so arrogant after all these years, thinking you've devised some brilliant plan. You know nothing. You have read the signs, but missed their meaning. You believe you are that myth of vampire prophecy, the scion of balance, and that Raziel holds the key to fulfilling your destiny. But your messianic delusions have blinded you to Raziel's true nature. You have no idea what you've unleashed. There was a time when you might have heeded wise counsel when it was offered. Now, your vanity has made you witless. You will have to learn the truth for yourself. You'll be needing this. Your strength will return after I have departed, but by then, you will have more urgent concerns than pursuing me. Perhaps, when we next meet, you will have learned a little humility. These strange creatures seem to manifest from the very shadows.
Yeah, and those are pretty much the enemies from Legacy of Kain Story River 2. The Shadow Boys.
Mobius's attempt at stopping me was not one
And
of
they
his
definitely got the
better
texture.
efforts. When I found him, it would be my turn to offer a few surprises.
And just like that, we're swapping to Raziel, because that's the one thing I remember about Defiance.
Surrender, Raziel.
Tony J.
Abandon this petty rebellion. It was I who made you. Your life had played out, and in my grace, I spared you. You are my reaper of souls. You have no other purpose, no higher destiny. Just this. Accept your calling, Raziel. Let go of these vain hopes. Relinquish your will and feed.
No.
What do you profit from this defiance?
There's some grim satisfaction in infuriating you.
My patience is eternal, Raziel.
No, it's not.
How many eons can you bear to languish here? The wheel of fate must turn. All are redeemed in the cleansing agony of birth, death, and rebirth. This is the engine of life, the purifying rhythm of the universe to which all souls are irresistibly drawn. Yours is a necessary and noble function, Raziel.
Enough of your sermonizing. Are you trying to bore me into submission? Why must this game go on? We both know what you are. You're no better than the vampires you so despise. A voracious parasite, cloaking its appetite in a shroud of righteousness. I refuse to do your will.
I can see into your heart, Raziel. It is not your will, but cowardice that keeps you here.
How so?
You know what fate awaits you when you leave the underworld. That phantom weapon you bear is a constant reminder, isn't it? The sword is waiting for you out there somewhere, and you tarry so as not to meet it.
I could not deny it. As long as I lingered here defying my captor, I was able to postpone what I feared was my inevitable doom.
Michael Bell.
To become the ravenous spirit imprisoned in the Reaver Blade. But that sentence was no worse than the stalemate I now endured. Better to face one's destiny than cower from it.
Harvester of souls, I created you. And to this function, my angel of death, you will return.
Enough. Yes, I submit.
Very good. Indulge your hunger. Yes, embrace your calling, Raziel. You will find that just as defiance has its price, so obedience has its rewards.
And submission is not always what it seems.
So now we are back controlling the Raziel. And from what I remember, actually controlling the blade is not a nuisance in this game. And by that I mean that Soul Reaver is no longer it's no longer a parasitic weapon. Right now Soul Reaver is actually something a little bit helpful. And Raziel is holding the blade differently. I wish that the controls in this game would allow me to use the trigger buttons. Probably I would need to use like direct X input or something like that. Yeah, I missed. Okay, I screwed out that. But yeah, it's the same thing as in other like Zipkin games. Raziel can just glide. Only thing is that Raziel can actually fly further because he has broken wings. Oh shit. While Kain can only like slowly glide down, only very, very slowly.
Going home. There is no home.
Yeah, checkpoint.
Below me swirled an ominous-looking mist. I knew that if I fell, it would mean my peril.
Also, souls have changed their form. From just a floating balls of light, they're actually now looking like human-like. And I really like that.
Do you believe your worthiness is so easily proved? Your way is sealed until you have offered further evidence of your obedience.
I must feed you before I depart this place.
You must feed yourself, Raziel.
Not in the Spectre
The
realm.
wheel must turn.
Ah, now you understand.
Okay, so I need to feed on 5 more souls to be able to move forward. Well, and let's go to the mist, dead.
You may go, but remember, you are mine.
No, I'm not.
You can no more escape from me than you can escape yourself.
Hashtag deep. Hey, Holes. Hey, look at that, it's Slua.
You want this room cleared of its vermin.
If you wish to leave it,
Well, Slua is definitely looking differently.
All will be done.
my good servant.
They're freaking cannibalistic, holy shit. Okay, I didn't knew that they can actually feed on each other. Okay, that's something new.
You see? Obedience brings prompt rewards.
That's actually something new. I never seen Slua being cannibalistic like that. They're actually feeding on each other right now. That's something new. That's something that I actually like. I approve of that.
Where do you think you're going, little soul?
Race to the top of the... Okay.
You can't escape.
What if I will?
Raziel,
Oh, so Razi can actually... Razi can actually climb the walls in the, Ah, fuck. I screwed that up. Yeah, I didn't press the glide. I just pressed jump once. That's my bad.
where do you think you're going?
Wish I could skip that. Oh, actually, I can skip cinematic. Kinda wish it was not a menu option. I could just wish...
Faster.
I just kinda wish it was a default option. Because of the camera angle, I really don't know where to go. Because of the camera angle, I really don't know where I need to go. Fine, okay.
You can't escape. Raziel, clever, Raziel. Clever indeed.
Oh, okay. Now I can see the climbing wall.
I've enjoyed your game long
up! Fuck off! Oh my god, really? Why did Resil grab a different... Why did Resil grab a different piece of frickin'... I know where I was aiming, but... I'm not really sure. I think the movement of my character is dependent on where the camera is pointing. Which is not really the greatest way to implement the controls in any games, I'm not gonna lie. Are you kidding me? The game really wanted me to say, hey, you will not grab that.
You will never escape. I grow tired of this right here.
Okay, there we go. I don't know what on my previous attempt I have just grabbed like an existent piece of wall that would not take me anywhere.
Clearly my escape had not been anticipated, or my benevolent master would not have expended such efforts to prevent me from going. And if my departure displeased him, then that was a victory, however small, for me.
Hey, checkpoint, nice. Okay.
In the spectral realm, water is as thin as air, putting this opening far beyond my reach. But once I found my way into the physical world, I might be able to swim up there.
Yeah, first I mean to find a way to the physical. And there definitely is. It's a wee bit of an alternative, if I recall correctly, but there definitely is a way. Freaking background music, the ambience of a spectral realm is absolutely
would only
creepy.
open when fitted with an appropriate artifact.
Well, I like it.
But to use such an object, I would first have to find a way back into the material realm.
Yep, indeed. That pesky, pesky material realm. I'm going to miss the ability to be able to control the camera angles in this game. I really will miss that ability. Yeah, that's another thing that I cannot open in this reality.
Going home. There is no home.
Like, you know, using the L to R2 to be able to control where the camera is going. I'm gonna miss that. 100%.
At last, I discovered a conduit into the material realm. I would finally escape the spirit world and take one step farther from my tormentor.
Did you think to receive the same favors after your rebellion as before? No, Raziel. I have no need for you to enter the physical world, so no conduit will be granted. You serve me adequately as a wraith, and a wraith you will remain.
So, my restraints had not been removed, only loosened. I would not be held prisoner in the spectral realm. There had to be another way.
Yeah, Russia definitely moves faster for the bars. Much faster than in Soul Reaver 1. In Soul Reaver 1, moving through bars was super slow.
As I emerged, I was granted a vision of what I would become if I did not escape the spectral realm. For these too were agents of my master, hunting the lost souls that struggle to escape the endless twilight of the underworld.
And there's more of them. There we go.
Master's plan for me was ominously clear. Like these mindless hunters, I existed only to fuel him with souls, siphoning their energy to feed him and his wheel of fate. I had to break these bonds while I still possessed my own will.
Okay, I think I learned how to do that. Basically, with those flying enemies, I need to hold the auto phase when I'm attacking. Hey, hello, they're back. And now we're back as Kain. Okay, so I need to get through here? Because that's a talisman. Yeah.
Seemed as though it was made for that unusual lock. Now the door could be opened.
Yep, that's an unusual lock that we have met before. I think it was in the training room too. I think I'm noticing something that might be very confusing in the future. Why we don't just get two scenarios? Kain's scenario and Raziel's scenario, and instead we just jumping from character to character. I'm still wondering what purpose of that is. Because you know, there's one thing when you can just refresh your gameplay every once in a while. But I don't know, to me it feels like it's gonna be super confusing later. It's gonna make me forget what I'm supposed to do next on that specific character. Yeah, I can't do anything with that Seraphon soldier. His body's actually blocking my path. Okay, so there's one more shadow somewhere. I think that should be all of them. Nope. Wouldn't mind killing a Seraphon right now. Then again, I just missed like a cell with the, like bunch of humans. Speak of the devil. I should consider it funny how now Raziel and Kain gain a magical ability of just going through the walls. They just gain it. They just have it for free. Yeah, control's still taking a little bit of getting used to, but it's nothing. It's nothing that I cannot get used to, like seriously. It's fine. Oh, I actually like this. It's like snowing through the window. Okay, I think, yeah, I understand that combo now. I just need to move and attack at the same time. Dude, that combo can be so broken. But I think I'm gonna have a difficult time of catching up with the analog stick. Like I said, if the analog controls are gonna be a little bit too much for me, I'm just gonna switch to digital, because that's not a big of a deal to me.
Malik, the great Sarafan warrior. I had met him before. His sword and shield seemed to have gone astray.
Yep, Malik was an enemy in Blood Omen 1.
Get him! Hey, Victor!
Oh, I love that screen. Okay, next guy, I need to drink the blood for him. Yeah, I need to learn that combo, dude. Because it seems like he can deal like the ridiculous amounts of damage. It says it's great against the weaker enemies, but because it's a Reaver and the range of attack of a Kain is just so big, you can just use it as an AoE as well, I think. And that's actually very good. Now, was it this way that I need to get back? To be honest, I don't remember. I think it was. Because it's the same room with... It's the same room when I met Mobius. So I believe I need to go this way. Ah! Okay, no, I'm good. I actually kind of created a nice little shortcut over here, not gonna lie. Yeah, so far I think the best change that they could ever done for the game is the controls. They are so much smoother. Shadows? No, I just made the circle. Whoops. Yeah, I just made the circle. I need to look for a different room. I know which room I'm looking for now. I simply thought it's the same room when I met Mobius for the first time. They also have changed the voice actor for the Mobius for the Defiance, if I recall. Because Mobius in Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 2, he sounded way differently. The one thing that they actually did good is that they brought the original soundtrack in. I much prefer, the original, the soundtrack from Soul Reaver 2. I like it a lot. You know, don't change the things that are already working correctly, and I guess the developers have decided to be like, yeah, let's just keep that. Also, God knows what kind of budget they were working with. But assuming that we have a significant upgrades when it comes to the gameplay, the budget must have been at least a little bit higher. Probably they tossed them a wee bit of money from the Final Fantasy games. But in 2002, 2003, like which Final Fantasy was out? 11? Yeah, I think it was the Final Fantasy 11 that was released by that time. Was it this door? No, because this is permanently locked, so I cannot go through here. So it must be one of the older rooms that I've been through here. If it's not this double door, because this is where we came from, it must be that single door that I have found before. And sure, I can definitely see that the transitions from one area to another is a little bit wonky. It definitely stutters a little bit. Yeah, I think I need to go through the bridge now. Oh yeah, I remember. This is where the lock was. Oh boy. Enhance abilities, press enter to continue. Spellcasters, okay. Oh, let me swap the target. Yeah, spellcasters can basically buff these guys and heal them. I'm happy to see that this game actually... you know, have this little thing from Soul Reaver 2, where you actually have to pick a priority of the targets. When you actually have to pick up the priority of the targets over anything else. Really happy about that. Because now that we have mages, I need to basically eliminate them first so they don't buff the enemies or even heal them. Was that door... I don't think it was on this floor, I think it was somewhere below. If only I could find it. Okay, so I guess I need to get back through here then. Yep, cutscene.
Tell me, where can I find your master? Quickly, Mobius is...
in the tower.
Good.
Oh snap. See? Two things at the same time. Receive sanguine censure. View status.
Play, Victor.
That's actually a line from Legacy of Kain Storyver. Legacy of Kain Blood Omen 1. Kain do surely love that line. I still find trying to activate the power attack from the Reaver a little bit clunky. Because I'm holding the action button. It really takes a little bit of time for Kain to actually perform it. And I don't know, do I have to like press the attack and then hold, or do something else? Maybe I do. I don't really get that one. I guess I haven't discovered how to use it efficiently just yet. Oh boy. No, just... There we go. Oh, I think I get it. I think I understand it now. Basically, what is happening... I get it now. Basically, when my sword is charged, but that's pretty basic, I need to hold the button until the Reaver is actually charged itself, and then release it, so the power attack can be actually performed. Okay. Good to know that. That's definitely going to be helpful. This plus combos, it's gonna be a freaking godsend. Already huge bonuses like for utilizing a better combat system. That's all I'm gonna say, because this is technically already, I'm playing maybe this game for an hour and I can already say that it's a much better combat system. Actually, let me take a look around, because I don't want to miss any kind of like health emblems or anything like that. Because those, this game actually spreads the health emblems all over the game. So it's always good to look around before you advance. Now, this is why I entered. Come on, game. There we go. And this is where I need to go. Yeah, jump. But first let me do the telekinesis thing. Oh, so I can grab the objects with action button. Okay. So at least that didn't change. We still have some puzzles. As minimal as they are. Maybe it's just because it's the first puzzle in the game.
Malek's missing shield. I hated to restore his dignity, but I would need to return this to his monument before I could progress.
Yes, you would. Yes, you would. Shield of Malik. Also, let me check on something. No. It's the resume. I need to check the status. And status is with F. And I'm mostly looking for the attacks. It's the only thing that is important to me. Yeah, that's the second attack.
Sanguine censure.
Sanguine in air. So I can perform the same attack but in air instead. Okay. Fair enough. Actually, I'm gonna try to perform it. But maybe not on these enemies, on different ones. Yeah, I also need to remember that dodging is just the deal of pressing the jump once, not twice. Because if I'm gonna press the jump twice, the game is making me... The game is basically making me jump while I'm dodging at the same time. And I don't think that's necessary. Okay, the game already tells me I need to go down, so I'm just gonna do that. Yeah, I'm just gonna feed on both of you. Okay, so the Shield of Malik is gonna unlock one of the two doors that were locked for me before. Yep, there it is. More enemies? No enemies. What? Oh, no, wait. We got them archers. We got archers. Oh, I cannot even do anything with them. Okay, they're gonna be annoying. Or I'm just gonna ignore them. Because of similar reason, they're just annoying. Yep, they're right behind the wall over there. And there's also a health talisman. Yeah, I'm gonna go through the fighting all of them, I guess. Bah. Actually, excuse me, I'm fighting here. Bah. Decay meter to recharge. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's part of the tutorial. Bah. The freaking combat in this game is so good. Jesus. It's actually now it's like you can actually learn to use the combat in this game. And it doesn't punishes you as much. Oh, I don't have any telekinesis. Okay. Bye. Actually, hold up. And there goes another telekinesis talisman. That's gonna increase the like percentage, probably. See ya. Bye, Felicia. Don't forget to ride. I can actually go over here, but the sword is on the other side. And now their archery skills are brought my attention. Beat it. Yeah, but I need to be considerate when it comes to
Malek's sword belonged
telekinesis,
in his
honestly.
right hand. However distasteful this errand was, I would return it to its proper place.
Well, for a vampire, definitely.
Die, vampire!
Yeah, the sword is charged. And enemies were too far away. Oh well.
Get him!
No, just allow me to feed. That's the best you can do. There we go. I can see another guy with the halberd. Also, is there anything over here? Asking for a friend? Yeah, there's a health talisman. That's one of 4. Well, I didn't want to do that. I guess I have slipped. Oops. I mean, it's not that big of a problem, I suppose. This technically gives me a free passage. Are you falling down? No. Oh, he actually dodged. Jeez. Okay. Ooh. Fully charged? Yep. Nope, not yet. There we go. Let me just feed upon him, okay? You just watch and observe. Good boy. And I'm gonna feed on you too. Yeah, this game is good. So far, I truly believe that this game is absolutely amazing.
The way to the tower
I really like the controls.
before me. I look forward to finding Mobius and resuming our conversation.
I really enjoy the freaking controls in this game. They're so good. I think the only thing that is bad so far about this game that I could point out is the camera. I cannot control my camera anymore. Sure, I can take a look at the surrounding area with select, or there is something for that, but I'm still gonna miss being able to just control the camera and the way it's pointing by myself. Okay, where's the buffer? Okay, see him now. Oh my god, this is so broken, dude. The multi-hit combo in mid-air? It is ridiculous. Yeah, I'm just gonna kill that guy. There we go. The mid-air combo is absolutely broken. I think Raziel can actually perform the same. And we need some kind of a sword over here for that door to open. So I think that also unlocks this bridge.
I would find another way to proceed.
Well, obviously Kain. But yeah, for 2003, I think this game looks very nice. You know, 2003, it's still a timeline where graphics were not really that important in video gaming. Yeah, I need to find a second sword for this. Or just a sword that can fulfill this. Bye. Bye. Okay, you're all dying. Okay. Yeah, I want to, like, you know, I don't want this guy to die of the bleed out. I want him to... Okay, you are flying away. Bye. I should probably feed on the previous guy. Is there something over there? Nope. This was kind of inconspicuous. Yeah, there's a ladder over here. Can I actually do something with that ladder? Doesn't look like it. Damn. Maybe I need to... I doubt it's just a part of the decoration because it's kind of like right there. It almost feels like it could be grabbed. Yeah, who needs a long jump? Fuck the long jumping. Pew cheese. Okay, decorative sword. I know exactly where it goes now. Yep, so far I can truly say that this is the best combat system in Legacy of Kain, period. Huh, this one is familiar. Oh. Yeah, someone tells me that I'm gonna have to, like, do something over here. I just don't know what yet. It looks like I need to, like, lit up that those things, but there's just an empty room. So I guess I cannot be here just yet. Maybe. Maybe something in the future. And I hope it is something in the future. I'm gonna beat on your ass. Bye. The one art I need to master, the mastery of dodging. Because I'm neglecting that very, very badly.
Curious. This artifact, joined with the relic I discovered earlier, appeared to be but one fragment of a larger emblem. This shard was endowed with elemental fire, enhancing both the Reaver and my telekinetic powers.
I can burn enemies. Okay, where is the... Use the K ignite the enemies. Okay. But I wish I could swap the Reavers. And it doesn't really tell me how to do that. Use TK to ignite. Okay. Oh, so we have it. What? Kain, what are you attacking? I mean, obviously there's an enemy somewhere. Okay, that's Dark Tome. I really wish to know what is the button to swap between the Reavers. Oh, so it's the numpad. Okay, but what about the controller itself? Control, configure game, no, control options. Did I just restore the defaults? Oh my god, please don't tell me I actually did. Yep, Lander made a mistake. And I restore everything to defaults because it doesn't ask you if you want to restore to default, it just does that. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to redo the entire mapping right now. Sorry about that, but this game is stupid. Like that. No, that's a soul suck. Auto face, this, yes. Look around, this. TK aim, this. Sneak, I don't care. Pause, this. The stats menu, that's button 10. What is button 11 plus 12? 11, 12. I really wish to know what are those buttons mean. I don't even know what button 10 is. Button 10, that status menu, whatever that is. It could be... It's definitely not start. Could it be the status menu is, that's button 9. So what is the 11, 12, and 14? Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, that's a status. And that's definitely not the button 10. It feels like the analog stick is just 11 button 12? What if I... Hold up. Options, controls, configure gamepad. I should configure such things. If I should actually... I think I should play this game before I start doing anything. Like, just beat one chapter and then that's it. Next rule. But what's the button 11? Next rule previously was spectral shift. How about we gonna do this? Oh. It doesn't even respond to the digital. Okay. So what about... Yeah. It doesn't respond to digital. I cannot use the R2L2. Okay. I might need to disable the numpads on the sound effects if I want to actually switch the reverse. Because that doesn't work. Unless I'm gonna basically do the directional buttons like this or this. Oh, I cannot do that. The game doesn't allow me to do that. Okay, well that's kind of shitty. What if I'm gonna need to switch the reverse? It's like I'm gonna be basically forced to use the sound effects. Like, I'm gonna even show you guys, okay? And that's gonna look shitty. See? Every single time I'm switching to a reverb, it forces me to use a sound effect at the same time. Not really big fan of it, I'm not gonna lie. This is where the Stream Deck is gonna be very, very useful. Okay, so how do I progress from here? Is there like some kind of door, some kind of a wall that I don't know? Doesn't look like it. Well, I really don't know what to do from here. Do I need to use this column to jump on something? Because I'm bleeding out as we speak. And I truly don't know what to do next. Because normally the game would be like, hey, press action on this, or press action on that. Well, maybe I need to, like, ignite only 2 of those. Yeah. I could only ignite 2 of those. This is where Stream Deck is gonna come in handy. I don't really want to disable the sound effects. That's just not going to happen. Game? Yeah, I would like to... There we go. Okay, now the question is, where do I need to go with this? Because of the reset of the controls and the other stuff, I just got super confused. I don't remember where I really need to go. Because we have successfully exited through here, right? We've exited from here, and now we need to make some kind of a progress, I suppose. Well, fucking duh. That's how you that's how you play the freaking video games. Go from location to location to make progress. No, wait, that's a jumping thingy. Maybe I need to go through here again. Oh, yeah, I do. Because there was this, it's a wee bit of a puzzle. There we go. Oh god. I think I'm gonna hate this. Jump, thank you. I think this is where the digital controls are gonna take a superiority. Then again, I'm still trying with the analog because people say, yeah, use analog, it's better. It actually depends on our opinion. For example, I think the Metal Gear Solid 1 is better with digital than analog controls. Hey, Minoc.
Here you are at last. I see you found a fragment of the balance emblem. This will be of even further use to you if you can find the other three. Now, shall we?
Yes. Let us continue our conversation, but on a somewhat different footing. Now, what do you have to tell me, Mobius?
You cannot kill me. We both know that this is not how or when I die.
Death is not the only possible outcome.
Your delusions of fulfilling the vampire's foolish prophecies have badly distorted your judgment. And Raziel is not what you think.
You dare imagine what I think.
So, you prevented Raziel's soul from entering the Reaver. Do you believe for a moment that by this you have averted your fate? Or his? Or that of Nosgoth itself? Your manipulations are pathetic.
Yet Raziel retains his free will, and that's what frightens you, isn't it, Mobius? You cannot see his path, and so you cannot control it.
And neither can you. Yes, Raziel is shrouded from us, but we see the ripples of his potential actions, and every path he might choose leads to the same outcome. He will kill you, Kain. In sparing Raziel, you have written your own death sentence.
You still have not answered the question I came to ask. Where is Raziel?
He is not, in a true sense, here. Not now.
Don't try my patience, Mobius. What have you done with him?
He is contained. In time, it may be safe to release him. His destiny must be completed. He will enter the sword. But until that time, he is dangerous. Far more dangerous than you could understand.
And your incontrovertible evidence?
The answers are plain, if you know where to look. Go west of the pillars. There you will find a testament written in stone.
But stones, too, can lie.
And so does Mobius, because Mobius is a lying son of a bitch. And we cannot forget about that. Hey, it's a second stone thingy. I think I need one more to get a full health, to get an appropriate health bar increase. Okay, there's nothing else to do over here, and the sign, the logo over here, that's progress.
Nosgoth stood pristine against the horizon. To the west, I would find the enlightenment Mobius felt I lacked.
I don't know why we're listening to Mobius in the first place, but okay. wish I could do that. You know, travels from one city to another, all of a sudden they are looking just like a
There
breeze.
had to be a way to escape the spirit world without the help my master was pleased to deny me. Only in the material realm would I have a chance to seek my destiny, or change it.
If there's one thing that I have definitely noticed, is the combat with Razzie was much more fluid, and with Kain too. I still haven't mastered, but you can switch the targets as you go along. Basically, if you see that you have a target that is way too close to you or behind you, you can just switch between those targets. Can I send this guy up? Okay, so there's supposed to be something, but it's on the ground, it seems. Yeah, I think it's a bugged enemy. Yeah, see that? I could just switch targets as I saw fit. Oh, I see where my enemy's now. He's basically upstairs. That's where he is. But can I jump over there? Not with this camera angle, I will not be able to. I'm gonna try to progress forward though. Because technically I cannot really feed. Hold up, can I perform the same attacks as Kain? Or do I need to like gain more? Or do I need to like do something specific for that? Okay, so this is the checkpoint. The moment we're gonna get to material realm, I'm also gonna get back to the very start over here because there was something on one of the pillars. Oh boy, Shadow Boys. Through this.
In this crypt, I discovered ethereal gases rising from the moldering corpse within. As I neared, I felt a distinct spiritual pull, and the closer I approached, the more that pull intensified.
Spectral shift and press action. No, that's a different thing. Hold up. If I only knew what spectral shift is on the controller, which I doubt there is one. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to switch that. Control option, configure gamepad, mapping. It's gonna be on probably on the last page too. Yeah, we're gonna switch the spectral shift to the right analog stick. And the status is gonna stay as it is. Button 12. The fuck is a button 12 on this? It's very confusing because I don't know which button it is. The controller doesn't really says that. It's probably I'm gonna have to like use like X input because this game was probably made if it was made for PC, it was either made for just an Xbox controller or for the old PlayStation 2 controller. This is why this game doesn't read it as it's supposed to. But maybe I'm gonna try to find an X input and like fight with it a little bit after the stream. Right now it is what it is. Okay, so just go back.
In the end, it was not difficult. I projected myself down into that tomb and found myself reborn into the material world. It was a loathsome vessel, but with an effort of will, that too could change.
Yeah, basically right now what Raziel does... Oh! Try to stone the charged Reaver. But don't mind if I do. Okay, so we got the regular Reaver charged. But I wanted to move all the way back. Because there was something important for me over there. Yeah, Raziel dodges are much slower. They are much slower. Yeah, Raziel's combat is definitely gonna get some getting used to. Nothing that I cannot be taught though. Hey Thunder. Press the button harder.
She says she won't go near the place.
I tell you, the pillars are haunted.
Haunted?
I heard a woman's voice talking and moaning, and there was no one there.
How many vampires have you killed? And you can't face down one ghost?
I knew who these were. Vampire hunters scouring the countryside, destroying what had once been my kind.
My God, what is that? A vampire or a demon?
Where?
Here.
Get him!
Quickly! No mercy.
Crush him!
These were Mobius's hunters, mercenaries enlisted in his crusade to exterminate the vampires. His insignia was unmistakable. But this meant I'd been captive in the underworld for centuries. I had lost 500 years. Then I knew what ghost it was that haunted the pillars. Ariel, the specter of the murdered Balance Guardian. Perhaps she could provide the answers I sought. First, I would have to find a way out of this cemetery.
No, I thought I didn't say hello to you in the first place. Hence why I repeated myself. Why can I jump on this pillar? Like, it's Hey, look, it's a perfect climbable thing to do. Like, why? Can I climb on that one too? That's kind of weird. Wait, does my health drops when I'm in the material realm? As Raziel? Does it?
This temple's facade hinted at some ancient vampire origin, for it bore the sign of the Reaver and was marked with the elemental symbol of light. The mystery of the Reaver might be answered within, but this edifice was too high for me to reach.
Okay, I guess the game absolutely forgets that I have found the Light Reaver in a previous game. Like the light, air, dark reavers, yeah, all of those have been found by me before. Yeah, that's the thing I was looking for. And I think that's a health increase. It's one of the 3 tones of the health increase. Also, they used the Melchiah music from Soul River 1 for this area. Interesting. Interesting choice. That's a good choice nonetheless. Kinda fits. And it's also good to see that they are actually using different soundtracks for a change.
Another temple. This one marked with the elemental symbol of darkness. This edifice, like the other one, was too high for me to reach.
In the game absolutely forgets that... I don't know why, but the game absolutely forgets that Raziel used to have all the Reavers. Yeah, and this door requires the light and the dark Reaver, so I cannot do anything. Actually, hold up, I have an idea. Options, controller, configure gamepad. I would like to reconfigure the keyboard instead, because I don't want to use numpad. I want to use a different button to switch between the Reavers. Maybe I can do this and this. Yeah, I'm basically gonna use different buttons to switch between the Reavers on the keyboard, but still. Okay, I can work with that. Imagine reading a book and suddenly feeling you got more healthy. I know, right? Imagine reading a book about medicine and all of a sudden, dude, I can cure cancer. Hey, Bao. Why has he lost his soul reaver abilities in the same way somebody lost his keys? Yeah. Inconvenient.
Fallen hero, renegade and traitor. What is this? How do you know me?
Raziel, what are you? Why should they know your name? You are nothing.
It seemed my method of entering the physical realm was not altogether original. But where had these beings come from?
Yeah, I'm kinda gonna move to a different dimension in a second. Yeah, playing Raziel it's gonna it takes some getting used to, but it's fine. Damn, drop my dark view of the Mobius' place like 200 years in the future. God damn it, dude.
Reaver did not seem to activate this orb. I had to find the means to enhance the blade further.
So I got my keys, got my sandwiches, got the reverb. Ah, god damn it, dude. Oh. Motion blur while swimming? Is that PlayStation 2? Okay, there must be something in this room that I'm missing. Or maybe it's something on the ground. Hold on, let me take a look. It's such a good thing that you can look freely with just you press one button and the analog stick just stays free. But swimming with that blur? Ooh, no. That's nasty. Isn't that nasty? I actually don't really like that. Is there an option to actually disable that shit? Let me see the graphical options. Gamma, strobe filtering, VSync. Nope. Say goodbye to that. FX options, maybe? Shadows enabled, full screen enabled, sound effects enabled. Sound effects. Okay, dude. I guess we're gonna have to fight with this. I doubt that going to the spectral realm would help me in any way. Because I need to find something over here, like a second shield, to be able to move forward. And also this door is now locked for me. How did I even got here in the first place? Yeah, the door is like permanently locked for me. I really need to use the Reaver. Or go to Spectral Realm rather. Oh, so this is where, okay. Hey, Squirrel. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Glad to see you. Like I said, hey, Squirrel. Hope you're doing well. Glad to see you. Hope you're having a good Saturday. Oh, this is probably the exit, isn't it? No, this is where you swim. I'm doing alright playing Legacy of Kain Defiance. Probably for the first time ever. Well, not really for the first time ever, but I have not played this game for like 7 years. Wait, what if I need to use this? No. But there must be something over here that I can use. Am I gonna have to like reload from the last checkpoint? Because I don't know what to do over here and I'm pretty much stuck. Is there anything in the room that I can use a telekinesis upon? Yeah, hold up. Yeah, I'm gonna load from the previous checkpoint because I don't know what to do. Like, I basically got stuck over here, and I just don't know what to do next. Oh my god. Never played it. Well, I think this game is best to be played if you know the previous 2-3 games. Because if you're gonna start playing this game from Defiance, you are gonna be super confused, you're not gonna understand the story. Also, something tells me that I shouldn't be here in the first place. Like, I should come back here with something, instead of just charging for this place. Well, technically you have two main characters in this game. Yeah, and this door locks me out. Is there anything in this room that I need to, like, use the telekinesis upon? So I can see the tower over there. Yeah, someone tells me I shouldn't be here in the first place. Like, if I'm gonna swim down, that gives me nothing. If I'm gonna move on this platform, it gives me nothing again. I'm gonna be honest, I really hate the camera angles. Like, you don't see a damn thing. If there is something that I need to see, I don't see it. And also, horrendous motion blur while you're swimming. And there's another thing that I cannot stand about this game. Yeah, I don't think I should be here in the first place. I need to find, like, a different way around or something. And it seems like this game also cannot run away from glitches. So all of a sudden the music has switched to the spectral realm for some reason. Yeah. I'm just gonna go a different direction. I'm just gonna go in a different direction because this seems like I need to get here as the very final room.